Wait! Oh my god, what am I doing, bro? I am so dumb. You guys could freaking hear it though. Wait, no, which one was it? No! I am so unorganized. Just need display capture. Well, that's the wrong thing. Ah, finally! Can't hear you, but you can hear the audio. What? There you go. Can you hear me now? Don't make me cry right now. Is there a problem watching new Rockstars? In loving memory of Kirby, Moro, and Jake. May you two rest in peace. Alright. How we doing? I can't hear a thing. Yes, we hear you. You could hear. Okay, wait. There comes a time when we all must grow. And the time I couldn't read it. I didn't read it. Previously on Ninjago. I missed this. Okay,
it's such a rare thing.
How's it good? How does it sound?
The thing that you hope for actually happens.
Hey. Hey.
I don't know another show that does this.
Neither do I.
Something in the stars aligned with Ninjago.
I'm assuming most of you have already watched it
There's
too,
something
right?
in there for everyone.
Fire! Fire! Yes, Vincent Tom.
The world's
Tommy!
best kept secret.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, Spinjitzu.
Samuel Vincent,
From the very beginning,
right?
there's something to it.
Hey. 10 years of Spinjitzu.
Before time had a name,
dude, who remembers watching this back in the day?
Kept in
Oh,
by the
dude.
first Spinjitzu master and
These
his
were the
weapons
days,
of
dude.
Spinjitzu. When he passed
Freaking
away,
love this.
his two sons swore to protect these elemental weapons.
By the way, I'm uploading
but the oldest was
reactions right
consumed
now.
by darkness
So,
and wanted to possess
hello everyone.
them. So, an
You
earth-shattering
hear, okay,
battle
audio's
between
good,
the
right? You guys
brothers
can
broke out,
hear
and the body
what
of
I'm
the
watching,
oldest
and
was
you can
struck
hear me.
down.
Like, it's
And
not
as his spirit
one isn't
seeped
overpowering
into
the other, right?
underworld, peace returned once again, and all forgot what had passed.
This is like nostalgia.
Until one day, darkness returned, stronger.
So much
than
nostalgia
ever.
from this. What's
Unable
up,
to protect
everyone?
The weapons of Spinjitzu from his undead brother alone.
Welcome.
The younger
Finally, we got
brother
the
looked
stream
for more
working.
princesses. He found 4.
Disco Kai, remember?
One as agile as fire.
No, wait, this isn't Disco Kai. Yeah, it is.
One
And then
as
Zane.
cool as snow.
Zane pretty much stayed the
As
same.
fast
Jay
as
is also
lightning.
kind of the same, you know, video games.
One as solid
Cole
as
again,
the earth.
mountain climbing.
Together,
This
these
is
4 apprentices
not an
must
official
develop their
documentary
skills
made
and
by
learn to
Lego,
master
but
their
made
new
by a bunch
ninja
of
weapons.
amazing people.
They must meet their spiritual guardians given life by their teacher and his tornado of creation.
Tornado.
They must learn to control their elemental powers.
Oh.
Most importantly,
I just gotta
they
make
must
sure
master
myself.
Spinjitzu, an ancient and powerful martial art. One
Martial
where a
art.
ninja moves so fast his actions turn into a tornado, and at the center
Okay,
of this
yeah, it
tornado
sounds
of
good.
motions is a carefully orchestrated whirlwind of weapons, power, and a true ninja of Spinjitzu.
This thing was
Only
not
then
this long, was it?
will they
before?
be ready
I feel like it's
to
longer than.
face the darkness.
Or maybe I'm just remembering wrong.
They had been trying to get
Tommy?
Ninja's work for years, but the problem
Dude,
with
who
a Lego
remembers
Ninja
seeing
is
this?
basically that
I remember
he's a character. He's a guy in a black suit with a sword, and he doesn't really need anything else.
Dude.
So
Tommy!
it's hard to make a building toy out of that.
Co-creator
And
of
they have been
Ninjago.
testing
Wait, then
for
who was
years,
the creator, huh? Lego,
and never
I
really
guess?
gotten around to anything that was usable. The kids always loved the idea of the ninja because the
I love
ninja is
Ninja.
cool and they have
You
some
guys made
knowledge about the
an
ninja.
amazing choice.
But it
by
wasn't
making them
until
ninja.
we started down that route of, hey, let's make this a really, really high concept fantasy theme. As you know, Lego had a Ninja Lion way in the
Right.
90s, I guess.
I know this
I don't
Ninja
remember
Lion.
when
I
it
don't
was,
own any
but
of
we still
the
had those elements lying
of the
around.
sets,
And
but
the front end
I
group,
know
which is the
of
group
its
at Lego,
existence.
who tries to come up with homegrown ideas, like the stuff that isn't licensed in, like Star Wars and Harry Potter,
Star
like
Wars-
internally developed
keep getting out
playthings
of
like
focus.
Atlantis.
If I
Um,
get too
we
close-
started testing enemies because if we found the right enemy and that enemy was weird enough, then we knew we would
Michael
be able
Hegner?
to come up with
Was he the
something that
creator?
you need to build, and a lot was tested, but we ended up with the skeletons. When we figured out a ninja versus a skeleton is a very intriguing thing for a kid. Because
Is it
the
though?
skeleton
I
is
mean, I
something
guess
that
it
is
is since I
inherently
got into
evil,
Ninjago back
looks
then.
evil,
So
and then because of that twist, we could start making vehicles for
vehicles.
the skeletons. So it made sense to the kids when
Also,
we
let
asked them
people
that
know that I'm live
this
streaming
skeleton
because
guy,
this live
who's the
stream's gonna
bad
go
guy,
private
who's the
after.
adversary
Or
to the
probably just a
ninja,
members
he can
only
have a
live
monster
stream
truck
after
which
this.
looks like a skeleton. That made perfectly sense for the kids, which was great because that really liberated us to the point where we could then say, okay, but then we can have ninjas on dragons. And now it
Yo,
starts to
those
become this
dragons
whole
look
fantasy
sick.
thing.
Those look like
And
the ones
now
from
it
the
also
movie.
starts to become a
Or
building.
like Lloyd's
It
dragon
really
from the movie.
got down to that point where the skeleton is a perfect adversary because it has all those elements that the kid
Look at this concept or like
recognizes
the
as
T-pose.
something fantastical, something they can.
Dude,
they
is
can
that the first
accept.
time we're seeing Crunch?
And then once we
Knuckle
had
as
that
a
fantasy
T-pose?
hook in, then we could start to build from there. That's how we got to the snakes and the robots, which were initially
Okay,
rejected
he created
concepts.
it. Okay, cool,
And
cool,
that's
cool.
also where we started
assuming he's gonna
testing
show up, too.
how far can we go with the ninja. Can we get them in different colored suits? Turns out we could. And that just made it more
What's the
interesting.
point of
And
watching the
that's
trailer
way
for
you got the
documentaries already
personalities.
out?
And in turn, those colors were what inspired the
No, I don't have the sculpture.
adding elemental powers to it. We always had the idea that this would be a fight about weapons and these golden weapons.
Golden,
The
okay.
importance of the weapons
So
came
okay, the golden
later.
weapons were already.
You know,
always
these
a
were
thing
the
from
weapons that
start.
created this world. It's like mythology. When we first came up with it, it was just like, here's this cool-looking sword. You know it's precious
Sword of
because
fire.
it's golden. Everyone wants it, and you
I
know
want
what
it.
to do with it when you get it. You know, it's a golden weapon. You fight with it. As soon as we
Wow,
had that
30,
concept,
I know. I'm
the kids
kind of
just
surprised.
couldn't.
How many
we couldn't
people are
stop them
actually watching
spinning-
right now?
Spinning stories with it. We always share our ideas with children. We always want to make sure it's validated.
I will be
that
watching
it's
the
something
entire
that they
documentary
genuinely
unless I
want
get tired.
and they understand, and we can get it down to that little hardcore of, wow, this really resonates with the kids, and then we can start adding layers to that. A ninja on a dragon is perfectly natural once you have the skeletons on a monster truck. We
I'm not talking
knew
to
we
anyone.
were gonna make a play theme with ninja, and we were starting to get the ingredients together with skeletons and pagodas and dragons. Okay, it's a neat little building theme.
It's a good
But we also
concept.
had the idea that we
I think the
wanted to make
concept
sure
of
that the kids
skeletons
could actually play out
is good.
fighting
Ninja
with
versus
these
skeletons, I
minifigures.
will admit,
And obviously
is a bit
there,
strange when you say it
there's
out loud.
been a concept
But
out there by
then you
other
get into
companies,
Ninja
but
versus
what we
Snakes,
thought
Ninja
is
versus
we wanna
Mad
focus here
Crazy,
is really on the
Power
characters.
Men,
So how do
Ninja
you
versus
play
Ghosts,
fighting with
Ninja
the character
versus
when
just
he's
all
only
these things.
yay
So
big,
it-
right?
it's outlandish, but good and
That's where we
outlandish
came
in
up
a good
with
way.
the spinners. If we could make this a bit of a sport and
And then
you know,
the spinners, the
toy,
concept art for some spinners.
something where there was a clear outcome of the action. Then you would have something that kids would want to compete with, play with,
I have
maybe
a
bring
new
along.
idea.
The
Okay.
first spinners were actually just some bionicle elements put together, so they look like a throwing star, and then you put a ninja
Oh, I
on
can
top
actually
and
hear it
spun
now.
around like, hey, there you go. This looks like fun.
It
It's
is
not
fun. I
though,
have some
because
of those
the ninja
spinners.
couldn't fall
Except,
off.
whoa, those looked a
So
little
it-
different.
You know, obviously there would be a lot of development. So now we had these two things. We had the spinners and we had the play theme, but they weren't actually connected yet.
Oh,
Not until we came up with the idea of Spinjitzu.
Oh,
what if we
so
say that these ninja
interesting.
in
So the
playsets
spinners came
and
first
on
before the
spinners are
concept of
same ones,
Spinjitzu.
and they practice this specific fighting style called Spinjitzu. It comes so natural and organic because ninja, spinja,
Spinja.
ninjitsu, spinjitsu,
Spinja. Okay.
ninja Lego, Ninjago, Ninjago.
Ninjago
all these
do
little things
Spinjitzu.
just kind of fall into your lap at that point, because now we also have a great battle cry and something we
Battle
can
cry.
call
Oh,
theme.
true.
That's
Ninjago.
that's how you make an IP, right? It's finding a lot of things that makes it unique and special. Because this could have just been a.
Dude, that's
a
how I
ninja
built
theme where
my
the ninja
titanium
are,
taco empire. Zane
fighting
Titanium. My nickname
samurai
Taco.
in rural
Boom,
Japan.
Titanium Taco.
But that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to make it high concept, high fantasy. So unique enemies,
I like the
unique
fantasy in
fantasy,
Ninjago.
unique fighting style, and then you have Ninjago. It's great. I remember putting together a very rough
Focus
video.
on my
that was a
face.
concept
Thank
video
you.
that would be shown internally in Lego, and that was to convince management that we could actually do this thing and make a product out of it.
I'm glad you
And
did.
that a ninja was more than just a guy in a black suit with a sword.
I'm glad you guys
so
were
it was
able to
this
convince
video
Lego.
that had all these different clips from different other ninja properties, and then it had some stuff I'd made myself. So that was put in there to show the variety and the breadth that you could actually get out of a ninja concept. It even
We
had,
love you. I love you guys.
the prototypes of the original spinners, the bionicle elements of spinning around filmed on my pool table.
On your
almost
pool
before we had
table?
digital
Nice.
cameras. It's that long ago, actually. Some of the things you talk about is a blur because, did it happen the way or that way? But one of the things I
feel ya. I
distinctly
feel ya.
remember was I had pitched the idea of the name of Spinjitzu a few days earlier, and no one liked it.
What? Who's
And
not
it
gonna like
was just
Spinjitzu?
okay, I guess that's
What?
dead. And then I got called into my
people are
boss's
crazy.
office on a Friday.
Lego
and
executives,
I was on
what are you
my way
doing?
home, and I was like, no, I'm yeah, okay. Let's do an hour on this. And during that meeting, we started talking about it again, and I drew up this very rough sketch of five
that looks
ninja.
sexy.
We
How can
doing
you
this,
say no to
tornado
that?
thing. To me, that's the point where the play theme and the spinners were really connected. And what happened then
Ninjago
was
is going
like,
to finish
that
when?
looks great, but it's
I don't
my
know.
drawing. So I contacted
Let me
this,
pull up the clip where Zane
artist
says
in,
many decades.
Canada
I
called
might
Craig
still have it.
Sellers, who then did like a
Many
very nice
decades.
rendition of that concept. Over the
Oh
weekend.
yeah,
It was then
mama,
presented on the Monday.
mamacita.
And then
That
everyone was
concept
just
art.
on board. Yes, heck yes, we're gonna do this.
Also,
so
apparently
it's
the
one of
camera
those
doesn't like
things
focusing
where
on my face. So
if I think if
Am
my
I here?
mood had been a little worse on that Friday, I wouldn't have gone into that office, and maybe we wouldn't actually have gotten there. Yeah, that's one of those.
oh
linchpin
boy, I
moments
can't wait.
where
To
I
see. Yeah,
think
reactions
that
are
was
coming soon.
really important.
I'm trying to upload them.
Obviously,
right now.
there's been a lot of work happening ever since and before that, but it really sits with me as a special moment. And actually a moment
I have
didn't
Zoom.
really
I'll be
want
back
to
in an
have
hour.
because
Yeah,
I
I'll
was
still
on
be
my way
here.
home for the weekend. But once we had the idea of the Spinjitzu, that could be demonstrated in a room, and that obviously that creates a lot of energy in a room when that's demonstrated. It's like, wow, this is new. Fighting with
I'm telling you, bro,
minifigures.
Spinjitzu
That's
is
gonna be
just such a
fun.
great concept.
At that point,
Like, think about it.
the model designers had also
Spinning
built
ninja.
pagodas.
Ooh,
and
ooh, I like
dragons,
this
So
set.
it
I
was
have
starting
this
to
set.
be visually
But
impressive. And then we
spinning
had that
ninjas.
amazing piece of concept
They're-
art by
it's
Craig
great.
Sellers.
It's amazing. Why don't-
always
like,
showing them different
obviously we
stages
grew
of
up with
work,
it,
and
and
then at
to
a
this
certain
day it's
point,
more like,
it really clicks.
damn, this is a good
And I
concept.
think that was the time when we
But
got
I'm
the
just telling
concept
you, bro,
art work together, and we had
Spinjitzu,
enough of
great
delicious
concept,
little
Tommy.
builds and big builds to
On that-
show off to people. And we had a
give me a
very
second.
energizing play experience with spinners. Things starts to really feel like, this is kind of weird, but it's also strangely natural and organic. And so that's how we get to Spinjitzu. That's how we get to elemental
have food as
tornadoes. That's how we get to something where it's less generic than what it could have been.
I
and
have
that's why
food
how
to
we get
enjoy
TV
my
show.
good old...
Long before time had a name,
Ooh, the story of creation.
Ninjago was created by the
This
first
story's wrong.
Spinjitzu master by using the 4 weapons of
Need to
Spinjitzu.
reveal.
So with Ninjago, we always had the idea, wouldn't this be cool if this was a TV special or something like that? Maybe it could be a TV show. And Lego had
ASMR
already
live
been
reaction
doing Atlantis,
eating
which was
breakfast.
pretty much the first
Wait, what?
Lego special that had animated minifigures, and that had been a reasonably big success. That was also something
Atlantis?
that came out of that front-end group that also created Ninjago. But this was before
Yeah,
I
look
joined.
where we are
but there
right
was
now.
a piece of content.
And
so
then Atlantis
we had the
rip-off.
idea, wouldn't it be great if
I'm kidding.
Ninjago had a piece of content as well? That actually got approved pretty quickly, in my
Did it
opinion.
now? Wait, so the show was
then
never in talks, but like
who would do this? I mean, there was no one. There was no one around, and it's not something that was a competency in Lego at the time. But it just kind of fell into my lap. And then luckily, the Hageman brothers had been visiting Lego a year earlier, something like that, and they had pitched an early version of the Lego movie.
Maybe it was like 3 or 4 years. Nothing had been made. We were working, we were writing, but nothing was getting made. And we kind of recommend this to people. If you're trying at something and it doesn't quite work, take stock of what's going on.
These people are my heroes.
None of the projects we were picking were getting made because no one really knew what these projects were. So Kevin and I were like, well, what are movies that are
I see Ninjago City behind one of them.
We were like, they're definitely going to make a Lego movie, and they're definitely going to make a G.I. Joe movie. This was
A G.I. Joe movie.
And we wrote little treatments, but then we like
G.I.
tucked
Joe.
them away thinking we'll never get the rights to these.
Yeah. Yeah, we were like two like, yes, we were working writers, but we were like
25 years old. We were like,
we didn't have names for
25 years
ourselves.
old.
We're not gonna get Lego.
And then producer
But
Dan
you got
Lin
it.
had-
That's a good
who-
thing. Gave us.
We never worked with him, but I think he knew of what.
You guys
he knew
gave
some of
us
our
9
stories. He
amazing
called us and
seasons.
asked- he's like, I got the rights
Right.
to 3 projects.
9 seasons.
And I want to know if you're interested in them. And first one was
It was 9
Tom
seasons,
Jerry.
right? Someone correct me if
He
I'm
said the
wrong.
Lego movie and Flash Gordon. And Kevin and I were like, we both like said simultaneously, Flash Gordon. But he's like, no, I really like you guys for the Lego movie. We had like a 3 to 4 minute pitch, but it was like, to us, it was like a pre-pitch. We're like, we're not going to give you a pitch. We're just going to give you some ideas. And Dan heard our 3 to 4 minute pitch. He's like, that's amazing.
9? Okay.
He's like, I want to get the head of Lego on the phone.
Okay, yeah.
Tomorrow, you're going to pitch him.
Because it's
Oh my God.
there's 10 seasons.
Okay.
I remember this.
Minus
Dan and I were
season
on like
7.
it was like a conference call, and we're
And yeah, the
pitching
pilots.
a man
'Cause
named
they had the part
Mads
was by-
Nipper.
That's
Same person as season 7.
Mads Nipper, I remember this, and he's like, and I didn't know who he was. I just knew he was with Lego.
I don't know who
All
any of these people are.
You know, we pitched our little 10-minute Lego movie pitch, and he's like, I love it, you know, and
But
afterwards,
not, wait.
we're like, well, what now, Dan?
Who
He's like,
do we
"Well,
talk
I
to
was
now?"
like,
Wait, the
head of
Hagemans
like,
did write the Lego
no.
movie, no?
Yeah, he's like, you don't need to talk to anyone now. You just
Did they?
kind of sold it to him in a way, you know. And we're like, what? We flew out to, and I remember we sat.
Yeah,
at this big
season
table,
11 Bragg,
and we
yeah.
pitched the Lego movie to.
I don't.
all,
Who was
This was about a 40, this
season
was about
7
a 40-minute pitch.
part?
Yeah.
I remember being
And-
so tired because of the flight, and when you pitch something, you have to, like, it drains you. I don't know if you've ever been in a pitch, but you're emotionally.
Oh, this was like the Olympics for us. We can't fail. We can't, you know, we got to like make sure we close the deal on this.
And I remember we
And
killed it.
by
We
the end
killed
of it, we finished.
We killed it. They all clap. They all stand up and clap. And like the producer's like, I've never seen anyone clap at the end of a pitch.
Which you don't do, like in Hollywood, no one claps. Like when you finish pitching, it's usually
That
a
makes
deadpan
sense.
face going, "We'll talk. You'll hear from us."
The Hagemans,
You know, and
I
you walk
feel like
out
they
going,
did
"I
have
don't
a
know how
part
that went."
to like a
But they
role
were
in
like,
the.
they were clapping and
Lego
they loved
movie.
it, and we're like,
No, but we were
"Fantastic."
exhausted.
That was
I
a
remember
while
we were
ago,
exhausted,
too.
Like, okay, it's all over. We're so happy. But then like Steve comes in. They go, oh, Steve's here. Steve is late. Oh, why don't you pitch to Steve? And we're like, just to one guy? We had to give the whole 40-minute pitch to like one guy.
But we sold it, so that's what opened the door for the Lego movie.
Then it came down to finding directors, and they found Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are writers themselves. I don't think they really worked off of our treatments, but they knew our pitch, because I remember talking with them. When we were off the Lego movie, we were super disappointed, because again, it was like, yet again, nothing we make gets made, and it's out of our control. And that's when they're like, we have this little ninja thing.
Here's the thing.
22-minute, or what was it, 40,
This is good.
44-minute ninja thing.
Because you guys weren't on the Lego movie,
So we were kind of hurt. We were like hurt from the Lego
you
movie.
went to
and
Ninjago,
oh,
and
that's
again
our
gave us 9 amazing
control.
seasons.
And then when they said that, that's when we're like, okay, are you going to make this? And they're like, yeah. And then we're like, all right. We're going to give it everything we got.
How is saying
They
cool
came
for
from
what?
a point of wanting to do big movies.
Why not do the room
okay,
tour?
the
I don't
movie
know.
isn't happening right now, but
They
maybe they
brothers
could
were
help
the
us out
original
with this
people to
one
pitch
thing.
Lego.
Lego
Okay.
was like, we've got the budget. This is
I
going to get
don't.
made.
I
This
feel
little
like I
ninja,
remember that,
you
but at the
know,
same time, I don't.
Special. Do you want to do it? And we're like, gosh,
When is the
we love
Lego 3
ninjas? Like at the time, there wasn't any ninja
Bro, why do
stuff
you want
out
to see
there.
his room so
You know,
bad?
who doesn't like ninjas?
We were just so
this is
hungry
awesome.
to get.
I am a
something
human.
made.
I am
Like,
too. That's why
the
I'm
fact that it was
eating.
going to get made and get seen.
And that's one of the that's
love
where
the
the
Lego
Hagemans got
collection.
involved.
Anyways.
We already had like
Yeah,
the great
I don't know. I
concept
feel
at
like
this
I've heard
point.
Hageman's
We had
story
the
about
nice
the Lego
selling
movie,
in
but at the
video.
same time,
we
I
had the
don't
entire
recall.
backstory with the two brothers, the 4 weapons that created the world, the sensei that recruits the students, elemental powers, Spinjitzu, dragons, skeletons. So all those elements in place, and that's where we just served them up to the Hagemans and said, okay, we also need to make a story out of that.
When we first started and we started working with Tommy on Ninjago, it was supposed to be a 1-hour special. That's all.
1 hour. So 45 minutes. Oh, it is
like
an hour.
Primarily
No.
a glorified commercial.
Again, this is when
Yeah,
they
it
were
is
showing off the
actually. It's
Legos
like
and
the
such
it's the
powers,
same length as
and
the
Lego was very high on it. They were like, this is
as the island.
great. And then Kevin
So
and
it
I
is
were probably
technically a
like,
1 hour
we can do
special.
better. We could push it. Like
There was a moment, I don't know where it came from. It was from someone from Lego. It wasn't Tommy, but it was sort of like, just do a half-hour story. They don't need to be connected. Just, they're just on different little adventures. And we're like nodding our heads. And then afterwards, that's when Dan and I were like, no, we're going to do a saga.
we like tricked them into
we're gonna like
making
make
something.
it.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
make it for sure. So therefore, we'll say, yeah, we'll do that. We'll
Good,
make
good.
Scooby Doo. But then we're like,
Listen to your
all right,
guts.
Let's look at the backstory of these characters.
I just thought that as a kid, like that's
Lego's frame of mind was we're selling toys to kids, and I think they looked at
I mean,
the audience.
I get
and these are
it. That
young
makes
kids.
sense, like
And Kevin
from
and
a
I would
business
look at the
perspective,
audience,
because
go,
you got to
they
sell
wanna see stuff that we
toys.
wanna see.
But
Like,
you also
you
like
look
look
at
because of
Star
their
Wars, you
decision
look
to
at
make it
Marvel,
a saga or
there's not
an actual
big
story.
difference. I mean,
Lego
just
has
go
one of their
watch a
most
Marvel movie
successful
and fall in
themes
love
right
with
now.
it,
So
just the same way as a 40-year-old can.
I'm just
And I think
saying,
that
I'm just saying
oftentimes
Lego.
animation, because there's not that much money, they go, let's just kick it out. All we got to do is have some bright colors and whatever it is. And Kevin and I were like, no, we had that passion to get something made, and we wanted it to be good. So we're like, I remember one of our first words is, we're going to make this a saga.
Mhm.
We're like, this is a 1 hour special, but this is going to be like Star Wars with ninjas.
And they brought in the sensibility that we were very, very fortunate to have them, where this isn't
And it
a
is.
dumb TV show for kids. No, this is a high-end Hollywood blockbuster movie. That's
It
what
is.
they brought into it, and that's how
'Cause
they
it is.
approached it.
There
Better
was a
than the
lot of
freaking
that
Lego
where
movie.
There was a lot of like wanting to tell a bigger
I meant
story.
not the
We weren't
Lego. I meant the
familiar
Lego
with
Ninjago
these
movie.
animated
No, the Lego
properties
movie's
that
better,
were
I
doing
think.
that, even though they
than-
probably were.
it tended to
I'm
be
about to get canceled
short. I mean,
for
if
my
anything,
opinions.
they were going down to 11-minute stories.
Let me just not.
and we're
talk.
like, no, like that's not what I want to see. Well, kids can, they can parcel it and watch it on their phone and this and that. And I'm like, no, if I was
And
a kid,
also-
I want something bigger and deeper.
We had a
Hmm.
chip on our shoulder in the sense that we weren't interested in making TV, and we weren't. On top of that, we weren't interested in making the animated TV. We were always wanting to make live action Spielberg movies and things like that. But when they said, well, we got a TV show, it's an animated TV show, we took all the ambitions of what we would do in a live action show and we put it into a little animated 22-minute ninja thing.
What we presented to them was, to some
Live
extent,
action?
paper thin. They brought in
No, never
motivations.
do live action.
They brought in characters.
It was like, well, what do these ninjas
Also, I don't
care
plan
about?
on growing
They
out
care
my
about
hair anymore.
golden Weapons. They
Probably
aren't
gonna get a haircut
collecting
soon.
golden weapons. They're learning to be better people. Like they're imperfect. Yes, they're collecting.
I'm
weapons,
imperfect.
or they're getting new outfits, but they're growing as people, which means they're learning.
Yo,
to
no
understand.
spoilers.
So I think very on, we're like, well, what do they care about? I think that's
Frick.
when we came up with Nia and having a relationship with Kai and Nia, and that Kai was the hothead, so to speak.
They also brought to the table that Kai needed to be the main character, at least in the pilot.
I wonder why though. Why
because,
Kai?
We have 44 minutes. What can you do with an ensemble thing? So we needed to center it around one character and give him a good motivation. So that's how Nia was brought into the mix.
I mean, I already reacted to
and,
the episodes,
you know,
but no spoilers
just,
for the people
it's just
who
rolled
haven't.
from there.
The concept is fantastic, but we're like, let's breathe a little bit of life into this.
No, I like
It's
my
not
hair, though.
just-
Early on, we're like, they get
I like
one,
looking
and
old.
then they, you know,
That's
and then they get the others.
What did I say?
You're seeing the ninja succeed over and over and over again, which is nice to see, but that doesn't really build up the bad guys.
It really
a
doesn't.
lot. But that's where then at the 22 mark, it's revealed that Lord Garmadon, he wants them to succeed because he's using them to get these weapons.
Where's my focus,
Those little
bro?
clever plot twist was definitely
There we
something
go.
they added to the mix. The first 44 minutes they were just great.
Yeah,
I
they were.
remember reading.
I mean, they
them
weren't
over
perfect, but
Christmas,
they were good.
that year, that's got to be then in 2009. That's where we put together the story. It was really just a few meetings over Skype.
Over Skype?
And
What?
like we gave a
Nice.
brief. They came back with the script. We did a few revisions, and that's also
Glad
one
to
of the
know
key
that this
reasons
is how
I
they're
think
working
Ninjago became what
internally
it
through
is.
Skype calls.
It was taken seriously from the start.
Hey, I found this for you guys. I
Vincent.
dug this up. This is the very first page of Ninjago. I keep like the first like scripts. For the cool shows I get. I try to get the first scripts.
Yeah.
And this is the very first script.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That looks
Very first
sexy.
page.
That
were
is a
just
beautiful
doing it. We didn't
script.
know what it was gonna be. They told us it was Lego. I was like, Lego's never done a TV show before. What is this? And
Yeah, they have.
So I thought, yeah, hopefully it'll go. You know, we'll see.
Et
I
pour
had
un
so
bon
much fun. For me, it
portouage,
was like a dream
portouage.
come true.
I can
Because it was
speak un
sort of
peu
like
de
Power
français.
Rangers meets Lego meets
Uh-huh.
Captain Planet.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, it was just like a
J'ai pas
really
le
cool
goût,
concept.
j'ai pas le
And the
goût de
writing was
français.
fun. And,
Je déteste.
I was the
Nani?
lead, which is
That was
the most
Japanese,
important
but what?
thing when you're looking at
Je
a show.
déteste.
For any producers out
Je
there.
déteste toi. Wouldn't it be toi? Oh, hello.
No, it was just
Wait,
it
what?
was a great time. It was super fun, just like rapping with the cast, and everyone's just fun people to be around with. So
Bro.
for us, it was like a
we-
new
I don't want to stand up. bro.
beginning, and we didn't know what it was gonna be.
I loved it. I thought that the base premise of it was really
Yeah.
flushed out, and the writing was excellent, and it was really funny, and the cast was
Zenkai.
awesome, and the animation was great, and
It was great.
so great to work on
And
a
now it's
project
better.
where they want you to be funny and they want you to
A
be
docu-mystery?
exciting
Why?
and interesting, and then they've
What happened?
written something so great that it's very easy to do that.
Yeah, I read the script and I was really excited.
first
I
thing I
thought
was
to
like, who is
myself,
this?
okay, so we've got Lego and ninjas and adventure, and obviously there's going to be toys.
You could
and
hear the Jay
playsets,
energy
and
just
they're
coming from his
talking, like, I
voice
think at
without
the
even
time,
voicing Jay.
with the exception of like, little grunts and
Oh,
groans with some of
that's
the Lego
awesome.
video games. I think at the time we were the only Lego show that was talking. It was great. It was a really good
Really?
show right from the get-go. I got the vibe. I was excited about the energy, and I was really hopeful. I mean, obviously, I booked the role. I'm still doing it all these years later, which is wonderful. But
Yes.
I was really hopeful.
I'm glad
that
you're still
the
doing it,
comedic
too.
relief, Jay would be, a really heavy recurring character. Because I mean, with everything going on and everything as chaotic as it is in the show and dangerous, it's always nice to have a little bit of comedic relief. So I was hopeful, and of
Yeah.
course, all these years later, I'm
That is
still really
true.
grateful to be voicing Jay.
Honestly,
I'm
when you
glad.
get on a
Brent!
series that involves Lego and Ninja, you just go, this has a chance. Like, this could be something
Yeah, I mean, just
special.
look at all that I
So
have
there was
behind
never
my-
this moment
on my
of
shelf.
like, this is going to be one season. I think that we all had pretty high hopes that when we started to see like the character designs and everything, we started to go like, man, we were kids. We were into Lego,
Yes.
and everybody's into ninjas. So
I
this
wouldn't
could
say
actually go
everyone,
somewhere.
but I
And the
definitely
story's
was.
good.
You touched
So-
the
I
heartstring.
never realized what happened with those pilots and that they actually took off and they become very popular. I remember
Did you
when the
define
pilots
something?
were being when I started, they were almost the last
line from Ninjago?
touches were
The
being put
island?
to the pilots, and we saw them. And
Brent has a channel. Yes, he
fantastic.
does.
It was really great. So.
What if I skip ahead into the
But
documentary?
for the next year and a half,
Ooh,
there I
spoilers.
had only one focus, and that was inside the big jet engine and learning the ropes and getting this thing off the ground.
I just want to know what's
originally when we were hired. Correct me if I'm
Yo!
wrong here, Jay, but I believe they hired
These
us to just
dudes
do a
make
couple tracks as
literally
like a
the
library,
best music
a
for
library,
Ninjago.
and they
Hands
were gonna
down.
cut those tracks in.
Yeah, it was presented to us originally as more of a library editing sort of gig. So it's like write
Right.
some original music for the characters, write some fight music, write some
Right, and then the editors take that and chop it up where necessary. But we decided against that and just scored everything, from beginning till end.
Literally,
which at
everyone
the end of the day,
on the Ninjago
that
team is
made
like,
us,
no, like we're doing it our way.
Come out with like McDonald's wages for the pilot, but it was worth it in the end.
It was worth it.
So we made a calculated investment, and it was the right move.
we saw a show that could have such possibility that was already so good and so inventive and so rich in mythology and just taps into these very basic, elemental, no pun intended, fundamental things about ourselves and about life and
The
about
soundtracks
world,
from
about
Ninjago
right and
is
wrong.
amazing, dude.
And
The musical journeys.
So
No
we saw
hate,
this opportunity
but
to
legit, they left
elevate
out
the show's the wrong word
a
because
couple,
that
like
implies
whoever.
that it wasn't
I mean, I
high
know
enough,
who
right?
edited
That's
it,
not
but
what we're saying. But music,
I
can
don't want
either
to
take
like.
it just by
how
definition.
does this?
The
There was one
product is not complete
soundtrack that they
until there's
left
music.
out.
So
I don't know
music
like
can
where if
elevate
it got
an already
lost or
great
it just
product,
wasn't put
an already
in,
great
but
film.
like.
So we wanted to do that, and at the same time,
I'm kind of sad about that.
honestly show what we could do. Even though we were little kids, we felt we
What is this
really
shit?
had something to say.
Unacceptable.
That is collaboration at its most noble level. It's where you take an idea that is a good
Tin
idea,
Man Music Studio.
and then
Wait, what?
by
This name,
involving
bro.
other people and you put different stuff into the cauldron, then it makes it better. Not that there was anything lacking in the original, but you have these people with these dreams and these ideas, and it elevates it. And I think
the
that,
track was
you're
it was
talking about all the different members of the crew. I think like every
it was when they were
single
fighting
person who
Slab
worked on that show
in season
some
9.
way or another has had that same attitude.
When
so that's
the
why
ninja
show
go against Slab
keeps
in the
on
pit.
improving after 10 years.
Ugh, that's the one.
Which you can barely say.
If
that
I find it,
for
I'll pull it
any
up
show
and I'll
that
play the
that it's
clip,
lucky
but-
enough to last 10 years, but that it continues to enrich itself and deepen. That's a very, very rare thing indeed.
From day one, we saw
The
level
fold.
of quality that the writers were putting
We
in,
just
the
jump up,
animators
kick
were
back,
putting in.
whip.
And
Oh,
so
by the way,
for
I'm
us
still planning
to
on doing that
be a
24-hour
part
live
of the
stream. If
show
anyone
and to
forgot.
lend anything musically to the show, we
'Cause
just
I
knew
totally
it had
didn't
to be our
forget.
best.
The way we got the fold on board was
you know,
through the
okay.
music company.
Am I
which
tripping, or is that
Jam.
one just not in the
That
musical
happened
journey, right?
simply because we knew that
Or is it? Did I
Wilfred
just
would
not
be
hear it?
producing our TV special for Ninjago. They've been doing TV spots for or commercials for Lego for years. I was producing the Lego City commercials with them. In fact, I wrote the line, "A man has fallen into the river in Lego City."
Hey.
And I produced that commercial back then with Will Film.
I was sad that Python Saves the Day was not included. Really, that wasn't included either.
Special, and they used to use Jam, which is a music production company in Copenhagen, and then they just got Jeppe Riddervold from Jam going, and he had this relationship with these guys in the US, which turned out to be the Fold. We wanted to make sure that it was a ninja fantasy, but it wasn't like a rural ninja fantasy set in the 1100s.
Damn, bro, that's
So
I want to ask because I know who edits it, and I could probably ask him.
So we wanted this catchy pop song,
but I don't want to.
and that's where he.
It's not me trying to sound rude. It's just
they
me
came up with
curious as to why.
Apparently, Mike Kramer, who you guys may or may not know, he reached out to me on Facebook and he said, hey, I don't know if you know me, but our bands have played together at a local show. I'm not really doing the band thing anymore, but I'm in LA, I'm a composer. And I'm like, that sounds way cooler than being in a band. He had heard my voice through the Fold
and he thought I would be a good fit for this theme song. So he was already doing some of the songs for Ninjago. You know, the soundtrack work with Jay. I guess he gave my name to Jeppe Rittervold, who is the music director for the show.
The upload froze.
Jeppe reached out to me. I guess Mike made it sound like everything sounds in the music industry, which is like,
there's just too good music. Honestly, yes,
like
there is
something
just
that
enough
pays
good
great,
music.
but it's a great opportunity, and it'll really, help your band. Like you hear that almost daily in the music industry, and I try to be optimistic, and I try to I
always try to be optimistic
every
as well.
Opportunity with due diligence, but this one, for whatever reason, maybe just because he said like we had played in bands and I'm in LA now, it just sounded like, hey, this seems like a quality
Why is the
guy
focus not
who's
working,
like
bro?
genuinely reaching out. So I followed it down, and I'm so glad I did. Because,
which is a good problem
we
to
just
have.
hit the ground running.
I guess, yeah.
I was basically just replacing.
But I mean, still, they left
vocals
like
that
literally
Jeppe
my
had
favorite
sang.
one out.
And so it was a very strange experience. I thought Jeppe, he's from Denmark. I thought he sounded Asian.
What?
And I don't know if that's just because like there was some weird gongs in the song. And
The video was
like
not
that.
up.
So I'm like, do you want me to like do an Asian accent as I sing this song? Which sounds so ridiculous now, but at the time I'm like, I don't know what this guy wants from me.
I wouldn't know either, honestly.
He said, no, absolutely, like, sound American. I want you to sound like you. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to, put my spin on this and just pretend it's a Fold song.
I distinctly remember hearing it for the first time. I was on my laptop.
I'm trying to upload something as well.
Like,
so give me a second.
The first draft of this theme song for Ninjago came in, and put it on. And it was like
it was a banger, obviously.
What the heck is this? I mean, it was pretty much what we asked for. What we wanted was a piece of music that you would actually maybe want to listen to outside of the context of the show.
And
that's where they get
heavily that it accomplished
I was listening
that goal.
to it, and I was like, "What the heck is this? What does this have to do with ninjas?" I guess there's a bit of training going on in there, but I don't know. But then I just listened to it 2 or 3 more times.
Hello, everyone.
Like, yeah. This is catchy. I guess this was what we
yeah,
asked
it was.
for. I gave some
We
input
just
about,
jump,
well, could we call
up,
it the roundhouse kick instead of the
back,
weekend whip,
whip,
which was completely ignored. And Jeppe pushed back with this thing about, oh, I think the weekend whip is something that can really catch on.
I just realized this is proof that we can do live reactions when it comes to Chima
like,
and Nexonite.
That's pretty much the dance
tuned for that.
these ninja do on the weekends when they're off. It's their Macarena was what he wrote. I guess the Macarena was big at the time. They just hit it out of the park, and they totally ignored all my brilliant suggestions about changing the lyrics, which I think, in hindsight, was a very good thing.
Oh, Tommy wanted to change the lyrics
in the first pilot season. So
I wonder what the first draft looked like then.
I didn't try to do some wacky impression or something like that. And we got to record the song, about a year later with
honestly
Dream mixer.
My favorite
LG,
weekend whip.
It ended up being
possession,
just
maybe
a dream come true on so many levels.
And maybe Day of the Departed.
Yeah, but
well,
also had met these 2 young guys in LA at some point, which were Jay Vincent and Michael Kramer, and we all know how great composers they are now.
Yes.
The reed needs to be a little wet.
Oh, what are you doing?
So it's not going to play very well. Yep. Not going to play.
A lot of this music is basically made on a computer with
hey,
some
what's
real
up? I aim to miss.
Laid on top. They had kind of considered going into writing score music. And so he just got them going on this thing. And I think Michael Kramer, I think it was, had already created this little Asian piece. I think he actually had it sitting in the drawer.
How far am
we
I
had
into
no
this
idea who was
documentary?
behind it. We had no idea it was a major toy manufacturer and a major IP or anything like that. And so, yeah, I get a random call from Jay. I was totally unemployed. Nothing.
My guy was unemployed and he got employed like that.
Just the past weeks before, I was, late at night, just in the studio playing around. I bought some new Taiko drum samples, and I was just like in my underwear, testing out drum samples, just writing like martial arts tracks, and wrote a track. And this was the thing that Jay was like, "This is perfect. This is what we'll send."
Dude,
so
I can no longer listen to the Ninjago soundtrack in the same way.
At 3 a.m. And that was the thing that made it all the way to the top at Lego, and that's what got us the gig.
I'm just gonna be imagining, or
which is pretty wild.
Kramer's,
we get this NDA, or we get this little
Kramer
contract,
in some underwear when listening to the Ninjago soundtrack.
And all of a sudden, we see the word Lego for the first time, and we see the word Ninjago.
I'm glad I didn't watch the documentary when it premiered because of a certain someone in the live. Was Al in this? Al was in the live. I think I saw him in the live chat.
And then all of a sudden, your mind's like, "Wait a second, this thing." Real.
Whatever it takes.
It is huge.
Whatever it takes. You're right. Yeah.
And so I email Mike's like, wait a second, this thing is real. It's Lego, and they're coming in here with this. We actually might do this. We were kids, and so we were super excited. Be excited
I'm a kid
anyway. But for some,
when it comes to Lego,
it's like this thing felt.
My mental age when it comes to Lego is like 10 years old.
We had done before. So we met them on a Monday. We saw the footage
19?
on the Wednesday. We wrote and sent them the main theme, the overture, the main Ninjago melody. We sent that to them Thursday. They sent that to the client and got back to us by Friday. And by, I think, that Sunday, we did the whole first episode. Just all in
I'm just not going to upload
the
the reactions right now.
Fast,
it's just not happening.
In one of those creative whirlwinds.
It was a wild
Anyways,
flurry.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
A lot of,
later today.
Beer and trail mix.
He's so pathetic. Tries to clear his name in a live stream that isn't about him.
Really
SMH. Anyways, I'll stop mentioning him. Wow, that's actually pretty low of him.
Whatever that sounds like. As we take in a bright and barren landscape, the skyline is a mixture of ancient and modern Orient. Welcome to the mystical world of
mystical world.
Wait. The first line. I'm so happy.
What?
It's like I'm like hitting the thing.
Oh.
To forge a perfect weapon, you first need the right metal and plenty of heat. Cool it off, and presto!
That is indeed the very first skyline.
And then
so
Mia
beautiful.
said something really funny, and then I go, I know, no matter how much fire you have, experience isn't something you learn overnight. That may work for you, Nia, but I'm gonna be.
Why is hearing this like,
Dad ever was.
dude? Hearing this is like,
I've got better hair. Oh no, wait, that's not it.
People wonder like how do you get auditions and stuff. Like my agent sent me to the audition. Okay, this is normal for us. For bigger animation series, we go in with sides.
Oh, I saw him upload the
reaction
reaction.
Dialogue,
I said I
usually
could
with
voice
like
Skype, but I can't.
3 different paragraphs of 3 different emotions.
What happened with Al Briggs? I don't know. Sorry,
I sat in my car, man, and I went through all of them.
There's
Zane
a bunch of videos
5.
people have made.
He was like my last one. So I had like Jay and Kai and Cole as like characters. I think I even had like one of the bad guys as like the character before Zane. I looked at like data from Star Trek, and if you notice just his neck, just like or he would be more like a Captain. I'm not. He's got this kind of thing where I'm thinking all the time. So I just kind of came up with it in the car, and I did the audition. And the director at the time, he had never said this. Like he goes, man, you killed it. You killed it on that character. And I'm like,
you killed it, bro.
Okay, it was like my fifth character. I honestly, I wasn't shocked that I got it.
I am Zane.
Because only because Michael Donovan, the director at the time, was so pumped about what I did. So
Jay,
when the breakdown came out, I put my name in for several roles, Jay. And I was able in that one initial audition to read for multiple roles.
Oh wait, so Jay is saying something.
You're gonna gravitate towards some characters naturally because maybe you have something in common, or maybe you get that energy or that caricature.
Bro, you just have the Jay energy.
Type. But ultimately,
I can feel it.
I feel like there was, there's a little bit of me in Jay. We have a lot in common. I like to make
little bit
laugh.
of you.
I
think there's all of you in Jay, dude. And that's I'm not saying that as a bad thing. That's like
I build stuff, and yeah, I've always felt a strong bond with Jay, and he's been probably my most beloved voice character. Not to devalue any other show or anything else I've worked on.
No, that's okay. Don't worry. Devalue every other show.
That character that has stuck with
me. No show
most.
matters but Ninjago.
I remember reading for all of them. I really connected with Kai. But I also thought I was like, okay, I can do like the Zane voice because I did.
Let me hear your Zane impression.
It was a description of Data from Star Trek. I thought I was like gonna get that because I'm like sort of a nobody in the Vancouver voiceover scene, and the guy had like dark hair, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll get the Asian card and get the dark haired guy.
Wait,
Kai
Zane had
like,
dark
red
hair
and freckles. So
what? Freckles?
I was like, I'm not gonna get that part. And then when I got the call that I got, I was like, whoa, that's cool. He's like the lead dude in the show. And so when we went in, I met Brent and
He's no longer the lead though.
Michael,
Get it right.
Kirby, Paul, who plays Sensei Wu. Oh yeah, of course Kelly, my sister.
I walked in the first day.
Oh, for Xander's like your
this
sister,
Asian dude, funky looking, with he was wearing like snake, like I don't know, there's snake skin, but like white funky shoes or something. Like this cat. I've never seen Vincent before in my life. And I go, who is this guy? Because I knew everybody, right? So when I went in the room, it was like high five to everybody. Like we're all super happy, we're all on the show. Then this Vincent, this new guy to the scene walks in.
Vincent always looks good. Always well dressed.
Yeah,
he's
he
such a
does.
classy guy.
And he's got like anime
He
hair.
dresses to play the role.
I remember Vincent. I'll never forget Vincent because he's all dressed to the nines. Like nobody.
I wish
dresses
Ninjago
up
another
like that
10 years, but
to
the
a
fan base is so
voiceover
toxic toward the
record.
creators.
I was not strutting.
I can understand that.
Jeez, the guy always, he goes, oh, what are you wearing now? What kind of hair do you have? Oh, and he gets disappointed if I'm not dressed well.
Wait, who does? Wait, what?
And I'm just wearing a t-shirt, he's like, oh.
Vincent got style. Yeah.
For the first like 10 seasons, my man was
10
Vincent. Like, we were beside each other. So all my conversations with, I got to know him
For the
really well.
first
And
10 seasons,
I have so
That's
much
literally
respect
all of
and love
Ninjago.
for Vincent that it was instant friendship.
We were like together, we were beside each other for many, many years. And just from the last recent like reboot of Ninjago, we've switched places in the studio. Everyone switched places, but like me and him used to have a lot of fun with Brent. Not that I don't now.
Switch places in the studio.
Yeah, I used to bug the heck out of him. He's always playing his soccer. I'm totally outing you, Brent. He's always playing his soccer game on his phone.
Interesting.
And then sometimes I would just be like, he'd be, come on, man. And he's totally not. It wasn't his turn.
I have a memory. We were all gathered outside the studio.
I was gonna say this is Harumi's voice actor.
I think it must.
I knew
have
it
been
before
summer.
it came
was,
out though.
Nice outside, and we were all just getting some sun on our skin because it's like a cave in the studio. And I think it was Vince that was playing like songs on his phone or something, and like getting everyone to like sing, or I can't remember. I just remember it being really fun and
sounds like fun.
Feeling really comfortable and like, oh, this is such a good group of people, and it's just really friendly, and everybody's just having a good time. And I remember thinking like, oh, I wish every work situation could be like this dynamic. Same. Where everybody's like this and just at ease and friends and it doesn't always feel that way. So that's one thing that sticks out in my mind. And, it was always a blast in the studio recording. Like it was always a good time. Everybody's so professional, but it's always a lot of fun.
It was like being in detention.
What?
All the class clowns together.
Oh, okay.
Except all the class clowns are getting paid to be as funny and obnoxious.
That's a weird way to put it. In
possible.
detention.
A lot of shenanigans happen
but-
when the mics are not on and everybody's being so silly. Vincent is constantly singing. There's a lot of jokes happening.
We need Kai singing in the show now, so I'm just saying.
It's a really fun environment to work in.
Even though we just have those two.
I put my about
react first year in 2011.
Can I edit the comment?
We really wanted to tell a big story, and we wanted to make sure
feeling
that the
tired
characters
already.
were relatable. They had empathy. They had individual personalities. There were high stakes, and that just became the DNA of the show.
An aspect that makes Ninjago great was when the show comes out, they want to make sure the toys are on the shelves at the same time. So that means there's a very hard date of when it comes out.
Yes,
literally,
I
we
agree.
have just a few weeks to start throwing.
But
this
newsflash,
together.
it's not like that
And
anymore.
I think
And
that
that's
really
kinda
was
sad
fun
to think
I
about.
mean, it was a lot of times it was a mad dash, and it was a very quick working out with Tommy and with the toy designers,
Damn.
figuring out what we all
Too
want
bad
to
it
do.
isn't
And
like
it's
that
exciting,
these days.
And we were writing scripts and we're sending them off, and they're just making the episodes. And it was just like, I think it just, I don't know. There's
You're
something
writing on
in the
instinct. You're
DNA.
writing on
of Ninjago.
Yeah, you're writing on pure instinct. It's like you don't have the time
Yeah.
to second guess yourself.
We wanted to make sure that this was a show that would, you know, not only entertain but also kind of register with kids.
I think to me, it's what's the phrase? The stomping ground, or you're cutting your
The
teeth.
stepping ground, or the.
For us, it was the first time getting an opportunity to really write something that would be made, and to me, you know, as much as like fans say, well, it's our childhood, it is the beginnings of our career. You know, it is where we learned.
No, the show comes out way earlier
We've
than
done
the
nearly
sets.
over 100 episodes, and everyone has a beginning, middle, end that you got to figure out. And
True.
You get a lot more experience with doing that than writing a movie. You know, a movie is one beginning, middle, end. This is 100 beginning, middle, end.
Yes.
So, to me, Ninjago, it was an opportunity for us to prove ourselves, and I feel
You guys
very blessed
did more than prove
to have that
yourselves,
opportunity.
honestly.
It was, I think it was bigger. It was, with Will Film, it was probably a pretty steep learning curve for both for them and for me, because this was probably the first time they did anything as lengthy as Ninjago, even though
Really?
you might say 44 minutes is not that ambitious, but it was definitely the first time I did anything at all like that. But that's where, you know, I knew these people, they knew me, and we knew what dedication we have whenever we create something. So it was just very, very joyous to work with them. We had a great bunch of directors working on it, and
Unfortunately, Will
each of
Film
them
is
had
no
their little
longer
awesome
a part of the
quirks.
Ninjago team. But
Some people like Michael Jackson, like myself.
Michael
that's
Jackson,
why you
what?
get Michael Jackson references in there.
oh, okay. I was gonna say what?
Some people are really Star Wars buffs. That's how we get references, or visual references to Star Wars in there. So Will Film, I think we had like 4 or 5 different directors.
What? Why so many
Peter Hausman
directors, bro?
especially stood out.
From season 1 to season 7, I was episode director, and I would be handed an episode, and I would direct the
7
episode
seasons?
together with basically Tommy Andreasen. And then from season 8 and 9
Yeah,
and to 10,
summer.
I was supervising director, which means that I was.
Yo, I can't.
I still
sit properly.
episode directed, but I would be more taking
Hello.
care of that everything was aligned within the episodes as well,
I'm just gonna sleep.
and making sure that everybody was working in the same direction. I didn't know at all about how the pilots would fare when they aired out in the world, because I had started my work on season 1
Season
as an
1.
episode director, and being inside that
Wait, that's like season 1.
3D
Season 1, not the pilot.
jet engine pipeline thing was like the steepest learning curve for me. So I was completely absorbed in my work. I didn't know anything about what was going on in the world. So whatever happened to the pilots episodes, I did not know. I was we were just really inside that. We had this tunnel vision, everybody just trying to get these 13 episodes flying and be as spectacular as possible.
He was always the guy that makes all those weird camera movements that I felt was absolutely unnecessary. You don't need these camera movements to tell the story, Peter.
Yeah, you
But,
do.
Hey, if you want to do it, it's fine. It's very ambitious with these camera sweeps. And
It's more compelling.
I remember specifically when we got into episode 13, I could really see the benefit of all that camera work. As Peter said, he said something like, "Yeah, we lost four guys on this episode, but it was a sacrifice I was willing to make."
Lost 4 guys?
Propel Will Film to be
wow,
big and
the things you don't know about behind the scenes.
Serious.
4
player on
dudes
the
quit
international
because of it.
stage. So that's it's like the company owner Eric Wilstrup. He has said that he has been on many conferences and sales fora all over the world, and he says
How
when
much?
he
How long have I
mentioned
been
that in any
watching?
in any connection, it was like every door would open up. So it was a big deal for Will Film, absolutely, to be able to
Wait, when did I start the
certainly
stream?
walk on that kind of stage. I think that Wilfilm has also impacted Ninjago quite a lot.
Yes, it has. It definitely has.
This may just be my claim, but I'm not sure that Ninjago would have had the same care at any other studio. But so I think it has worked beautifully both ways.
Peter Hausman was definitely one of those guys that were pushing for.
Wild Brain is not doing a good job. You're trying to throw shade at Wild Brain.
That's one of the things that makes Ninjago really special. If you look at it,
What's
Wilfilm
up,
cannot be commended enough on how
I'm back. Welcome back.
It was just great, and it was always a pleasure to get.
That looks so beautiful.
One of the best days.
I wish Ninjago would look like this again.
I think I like to say that Ninjago is a miracle, but it's not a coincidence because it's like a lot of things just came together. It was the right idea.
I mean, fair enough. If he thinks Ninjago was in better hands with Wilfilm, fair enough. I'm gonna throw some shade back though. I will admit your interpretation of Ninjago looked better, but bro, when it comes to animation, you cannot you can't compete with freaking Wild Brain. I'm sorry, I'm just spitting out facts right now.
With Wilfilm, the ambitions were always just way up there, and that's
why did they leave Wilfilm? I love Wild Brain, but was it ever explained why they made the transition? No, they might explain it here though.
Everyone was just keep elevating it to be more than it could have been.
I remember Tommy's very first brief to me and the two other episode directors in season 1. He said to us, very first thing he said was, "Don't make a show for the kids, make a show that you want to see."
Oh?
And that's pretty much what we took with us, because up until then and still, I think a lot of children's television is like, but this is for kids, so we have to.
Yeah, a lot of children's television right now.
Never in Ninjago, and Kevin and Dan Hageman, they were also really on it from the beginning, saying that we have to make it as perfect as possible. Everybody leaped to this chance to make something special, and then everybody was taking.
The only thing I miss about Wilfilm is Ninjago City. For everything else, I prefer Wild Brain. Pretty much, yeah.
It was super well executed.
Ninjago City just looks so lifelike, so lively.
Music and everything. It was just everything coming together.
We delivered good stuff to them. They delivered good stuff back. They brought Jam, Vincent and Kramer on board, Mike Fold. So there was a lot of stuff that just happened organically by our collaboration with Wilfilm.
Mm-hmm. Oh?
I think this is maybe my favorite aspect of the gig. Every season, Jay and I, we do a deep dive, as we like to call it, and we try to take some inspiration from the characters and the locations and the character arcs and all the situations, and when we look to different musical cultures from around the world and look at different instruments and different playing styles. And some pretty wild stuff. Pretty much every season of Ninjago, I've bought at least one or two new instruments. So
it can be a bit wanky.
Doing a real quick
jank
run through the seasons. The very first instrument that I bought was this guy. This is a Dietze flute. This is a Chinese.
It doesn't really feel like they're running. It looks like they're walking fast. Oh!
The Green Ninja theme on this guy. Ukulele for Lloyd's theme.
Oh, dude.
Or else I'll release the serpentine on you!
I freaking love this, dude.
It's an Armenian instrument. It's one of the oldest instruments in the world. It's this guy. It's,
What's that
very hard to play, so I'm not going to play it very well. But it kind of sounds like this. Oops. Sorry.
City of Ouroboros.
Nope.
Or the Serpentine theme.
Well, you heard a little bit of it. Needs to warm up in order to play. It doesn't play when it's cold.
The first time you heard it was for the map.
The map.
Oh,
was it?
For the golden weapons.
The map!
So
no way.
You're going to hear the Duduk repeatedly throughout the season whenever it comes to anything legendary, anything mystical, anything ancient.
This is the Bansuri. We use this for Wu.
Might be blind, but I've never found any of the wild brain movements weird. I don't know what everyone else is saying. No, I mean, just to me personally, the running doesn't really seem like the running. It's not. I don't think it's fast enough to make it look like the running. I don't know. It's not like a big issue, and it's just a little small.
Very cool overtones on this guy. This is season 1. Season 2, we did some stuff. Oh, it's season 3. It's called
Season 3. What about season 3?
Dulcimer.
My favorite season.
This guy. So you kind of play it like a cello. Let's see if I can adjust the camera so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So.
Oh, Androids. Wow. Dude, that's actually really good. From that instrument?
That kind of stuff with the Ninjroid. Oh, yeah. This guy is not playing right now. I'm also pretty bad at it. I'm a little rusty. This is called a Zhonghu. It's a
What'd you use
Chinese,
that for?
Kind of like a Chinese viola. And this we used for the Overlord.
It's over. Evil wins.
The Baowu. This is one of my favorite ones. This is another Chinese flute. This we used for Nia's theme. Okay. But you can hear it's kind of like this honky sound. It almost sounds like a
I can kind of hear it.
But when it's played,
I mean, we kind of hear Nia's theme a lot in C-Bound,
It's
so
actually a really sweet sound.
Unless it's not Nia's theme, whatever you want to call it.
The master of war.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we do hear this theme a lot in C-Bound. I can't do music.
Really, really beautiful.
Pretty good, pretty good.
And that's a flute that was made very much in the Native American tradition.
Pilot Season 1, 2 had okay animation. 3, 4.
This,
where Step Up 5 and 6 is when it starts to really improve. 7 was alright, but a major downgrade. 8, 10 was beautiful.
Kazakhstan.
11 onwards, then fantastic.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan
and his warriors used to play this on horseback as they were like raiding from village to village. And when we were figuring out what instrument would be best for our dragon warriors, who are also kind of like nomadic, conquering people, we were like, yeah, Genghis Khan's instrument. This is what we should go for.
Oh, dude, this is literally my second favorite theme.
And it also has like a very ancient sound to it.
But again, my favorite one is not nowhere to be seen.
Really, really beautiful instrument. And also really hard to play. There's a theme with all of these instruments too. They're really difficult.
I'm gonna try to
find
the clip. I want to show you guys what my favorite soundtrack is.
This is called an Ezraj. It's an Indian instrument. There's 4 main strings, and you see all these tuners here. 14 or 15 sympathetic strings, they're called. And what happens is, whenever you play a note on one of the main strings, if that note is the same note as one of the sympathetic strings, it'll cause that sympathetic string to vibrate. So like if I sing a random note like woo, I don't pick up in the microphone, but it resonates with that string that is the same pitch. So in essence, this instrument is the very first reverb in the world.
Interesting.
Probably not into it right now.
Bro, this isn't even the clip. What are y'all saying? Season 9. Yeah, it's season 9. I still want to show it though. Oh no, my camera froze. It froze. No.
That's the.
Why? Why does everything just want to break right now, bro?
Skull Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Skull Sorcerer. Hold up, let me try to figure out.
So that definitely sounds like, caves and,
That's not what I'm looking for.
And you hear the reverb of things going around you.
That is incredible.
That is amazing. Like,
exactly.
Obviously, these instruments are chosen very carefully based on the character or based on the new land we're in. For instance, the Kobas was very emblematic of the dragon hunter.
No!
Because the whole point of their culture is it's centered around dragons. It's centered around dragons and hunting them and using all the resources and stuff. But then as the season goes on, you start to understand that the Kobas is actually the instrument of the dragon itself and like the spirit of the dragon. So you have those kind of vulnerable, intimate scenes with the dragons where it's like
I got this. Watch this.
Voice.
I'm still here. Watch this. What? Man's really gonna... Oh, so this soundtrack is also really great.
We've always been citizens of the world, musically, and because Ninjago has such a vast universe, we get to really, respectfully but enjoyably, very enjoyably, explore other cultures of the world that we might not be familiar with. I think there's this like innocence and curiosity that you have as an artist that causes you to want to learn from all of these
you can't even see the freaking thing anymore.
And all of these different people.
Their contribution to Ninjago has just been enormous, and that's one of the reasons why their music is such a big part of the identity of the show.
There we go. Got it working again.
Now we're going into production beyond.
The scene with Kai and the Wind Dragon was beautiful, and the error ruins of minor nitpick. Dude, I'm telling you, the errors, like people I've seen things about like how we complain about Wild Brain's like errors, but bro, I complain about the Willful errors as well. It's just I haven't publicly and I'm not I haven't publicly announced it or talked about it because why am I gonna go back and talk about it? Like yes, I'll point out like the errors are horrendous sometimes. In Will Film. Here's what I'm saying. Will Film messes up big. Wild Brain messes up constantly. I think that's how it works.
At this point, it's probably the easiest part of my job is approving their music. It just comes in, and sometimes there's like, oh, maybe this needs to hit a little early or something like that, but most of the time it's just perfect. And whenever we come up with a new theme, like, oh, we got Nindroids, we got Desert theme, we got Ice, they really find these little things that makes it unique for you every season. And you can feel the environment
It's our genuine hope that this is here to stay, and so that's why
it is here to stay. Hopefully,
we always have more to say. We always have further to go. And
where's the clip, bro?
I can imagine doing something that's repetitive for 10 years. Sounds awful, right?
Nah.
But it's the exact opposite with Ninjago. It's something that is always keeping you on your toes, and it's always something new for 10 years. It's
freaking great.
Delight.
So it's really about just serving out these guys. They need some visuals and a very rough storyline, and then they just hit it out of the party.
That's about right.
It's great to work with these guys.
Taco, do your Cartoon Network stop working?
Ninjago has become a part of
Cartoon Network.
Like,
don't show the clip, it will go wrong. No. I'm just gonna show the clip.
No.
I have it up.
Music
I'm pulling it up right now.
Inspiration and the inspiration
has it gone down?
Just
Has the
there
stream failed?
time with
Exactly,
the
that's
show,
what I thought.
To do better and try harder. And I've said this. It
Go
comes from
Ninjago.
It comes from the writers, and then when the writers and the animators put their stuff together, we just won't settle for anything less than the best we can possibly produce. So even though we call them remixes, we definitely
the remixes are fire
every
though.
time, and we lay it out on the table.
Full for the most
put
part.
on our mad scientist caps.
Jump up,
we
kick
treat it
back,
like
whip
a
around.
recording
Whoa,
session.
where'd the music go?
All of its own. We have the theme of the season, There's been most seasons where we've done a bunch of songs, but this has just been the whips for whatever reason, and so especially on these past 3 seasons, we've really looked at it from an approach of, you know, this is our one shot to put our stamp on this season, so let's not settle.
Echo, talk with your voice. Oh, wait, hold up. Sorry, I didn't realize it was echoing. There, I fixed it.
A lot of fans have asked how long these take, and there's no set time frame for how long these will take. And that's just music in general. It's like, you know, sometimes you get the song that comes to you in 10 minutes, and sometimes it's 6 months. And, you know, we've spent 6 months.
And slap it.
Sometimes. So
that's what I'm saying.
We're always kind of looking
literally,
at
that's
it
the one
as,
I'm trying to look for.
You know, pick the best
the
sounds
season
we
13
can,
when Zane
you
was
know,
fighting the
grab for
Mino
deepest
creature,
inspiration
and the
we can
season
grab
9
for,
slap
and
hit.
just
That's
hope
the
those
freaking
pieces fit
scene I'm
together
trying to
nicely.
find. I can't find it
Sometimes
though.
they do, sometimes they don't. Early on, our first impressions were just kind of like, this feels like home, because you know, George and I are a little older than the average fans, obviously, and
Yes,
to
you
us
are.
it felt so much like so many of these 80s
Why can I not
cartoons,
find
90s
it?
cartoons
I
like
used to be
Teenage
able to
Mutant
find
Ninja
it.
Turtles. Our first impressions were
Ninja
kind
Turtles.
of
I
like,
like Ninja
you know,
Turtles.
is this cool? It's so much like Ninja Turtles. But we started
Teenage
to see
Mutant
that
Ninja
there was
Turtles.
this deeper,
Turtles
almost spiritual
Un,
message
dos,
behind
tres,
the show,
cuatro turtles.
which I love. You know, the decision between good and evil, and unlocking your true potential. It feels so much to me like, you know, some deeper things with my faith. So I just thought, you know, we've always used the fold in any way we could to tell kids that, you know, you should choose the good path, and
Always
you
choose the
shouldn't
good path.
necessarily be so easily steered by peer pressure and these kind of things. And that's just so ingrained in the show.
I like this scene.
That it just felt like, you know, how could we
that
not
seems alright.
go all in with this? The message is there. You know, we're able to enlighten some of these younger kids to some of the influences we grew up with in punk rock. And it just felt like such a perfect fit. I couldn't have picked.
Who doesn't like Ninja Turtles? Yeah, leave a comment down below if you don't like Ninja Turtles. If you do, you're dead to me. I'm kidding.
Layer
I'm kidding.
Of entertainment.
I'm still
but
trying to find the
underneath
clip.
Are these very, very clever little moral lessons that the viewer will then
It's all just a
absorb
prank, bro.
and accept as their own, but it doesn't
Have I
feel like you're
downloaded
being
it
lectured to. You're basically watching a
I
great
used to
piece of
download the
entertainment that you understand and that you relate
Please
to.
tell me I
And
still
by
have
the
it.
end of it, hopefully you will have absorbed something that actually makes you just a tad better a person having watched it. Because now you understand that maybe you will actually carry that with
Teenage
you
Mutant Ninja
into your next day. And
It's
that's
impossible finding
basically
scenes
the
that's-
journey that
it's
the
so
ninja are on in every season, and it's also what we believe
The ninja
the
are in every
kids
season.
are
What do you
on
mean?
Their life journey at that time in their lives.
As Wu says,
I'm just gonna have to
in each
play it
and
on
every one
Netflix,
of us,
bro.
there are obstacles that hold us back from true
I'll play it right
greatness.
here on my phone.
And only when you conquer those will you reach your true potential.
Hey yo, ninja.
Beneath the icons of dragons and ninja, there's this compelling core narrative around
Wait, where's
kids
Ninjago?
getting confidence,
That's right here.
finding the inner voice.
Oh, I like that picture.
Learning something new about themselves, realizing something, and suddenly they can do more.
Hunted,
I
Hunted,
think it's
Hunted,
such
Hunted.
a compelling message.
Radio
the legacy of
Free
Ninjago to me made me feel
not.
like the fold had a significance
It
that I
is
didn't feel like
number
the fold
2.
had before Ninjago.
Oh,
I don't know if that totally makes sense, but I was looking at some things that, you know, we
They
put
didn't
out
do
before
Slab. That's what I'm
Ninjago.
saying. They didn't. They
And I kinda
completely
had
skipped
this
that
feeling
into
that I
that
had
freaking piece
all
of
the time
soundtrack.
back then, which
That
was
godlike
like,
soundtrack.
where do we fit in, or you know, do our fans really care, or
I
are
do
they
care.
going to forget about us in a month? And
I love you guys.
seeing the way that the people are about this show, and
Bro, we love
thankfully
this show.
They are about
This
the
show's
Fold
our life.
because of our affiliation with the
No,
show.
I know the soundtrack
just
doesn't
feel
exist,
like
which is
all the
why I'm
pieces
upset.
fit
But
with
I'm trying to find the
Ninjago.
clip.
And so the legacy for me is it like helped us
Just
find
skip
our
the J
place.
in the elevator?
Helped us
No.
find, you know,
I like
those,
that one,
those
but
fans who
that's not
literally
what-
grew up with
also
us
my hair
now.
goes this way.
you know, were a little bit more in their lives.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I've already listened to all the musical journeys, and that one is just not on it.
It's like these are fans who are going to grow with us, and there's just been such a theme throughout Ninjago. You know, something as silly as Lloyd's voice changing. We really did all grow up together, and so the legacy is that we all fit together, and we are a community, and we are a part of each other's lives, which is something I just never felt,
this scene goes way
as far as
okay,
the
hold
fold goes before.
I'm gonna mute you guys really quick.
I get to see three. I hope Slab can wipe the smirks
right here.
dirty shapeshifters.
Hey, hey, hey. I should probably pause this because I want to actually want to. No, I pause it. Bro, this takes forever. Hurry up and skip to the good part. Alright, here we go. Almost there. Are you ready? Just play the part already! With bells on. I feel like that's supposed to imply something completely different. Chompy chomp. Oh, it's coming! Put it over here. It's coming! It's fine. I won't get copyrighted. If I do, it's fine. I'm bringing it up private. Yo! Hey! Yeah. I'll just put it right here. It's so short. Alright, that's enough. We gotta continue watching.
You know, something as silly as Lloyd's voice.
What episode is this? This is... Shut up! Iron and Stone.
And so the legacy is that we all fit together, and we are a community.
If I get copyrighted strike, guys, it was nice knowing you.
Which is something I just never felt as far as the fold goes before. You know, it was always very, you know, we have this group of fans and this manager and this record label, but tomorrow that could all go away, and that all did go away. Yet, you know, here we are 10 years later with Ninjago, and it's only become stronger. And I see no reason to see that not continuing on in the future.
You see this?
There's all these aspects that go into, you know, a show and the brand and the toy and the product.
Yes.
And also growing with your audience as well, voice actor. Right? And it was like I could see them that they're trying to grow with their audiences. Everybody else was maturing and maybe hitting that age of being an adolescent, saying, how can we dive into that psychological
I mean, yes, season 8 did kind of show that, but
of their audience and the people who are buying Lego.
Yes, sir.
And also honoring the things that people loved about Ninjago, which was the fun and the adventure and the banter between all of them. So it was like one of those things you kind of got to nuance. I
do like Lloyd's new voice actor.
That, yeah, it would. If you're going to take Lloyd in that direction, it made sense that you had to kind of maybe just change the voice and
of course, obviously you're gonna say that because you're the new voice actor.
Decision to change the character or to recast the voice of Lloyd starting season 8 was something that understanding why they were doing it, and going back and watching the first. Actually, at the time I went back and watched the first 6 seasons. Season 7 was not available yet.
Really?
Which I've gone back to watch season 7 now. And also I know Jillian Michaels
watched everything,
and she did such an awesome job for the first 7 seasons, and understanding why they had made that decision to, because Lloyd's journey from being this kind of bratty kid,
look at this little bratty boy,
to becoming like the chosen one, the
I
green
am the chosen
ninja,
one.
golden ninja, all these major kind of storytelling points for his character growth and arc.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Awesome.
Where's Sensei
I
Lloyd?
just want to give a shout out to Jillian for doing such great work for that storyline. So when I went in and was working with Tommy, came in, and
Tommy
and
Andreasen.
Hagman brothers were there, and we just started working on those first scenes.
Hey, you guys want to
Especially
say
with
something really quick?
trying to get the dynamic between Harumi and Lloyd to make sure that they were, because he obviously was like, they're trying to build this kind of romantic rapport in the beginning. So we worked a lot on making sure that we were getting.
What is that?
Because I think it was new territory.
Oh, reaction spoilers.
Kind of, this it was
Yeah,
like
you guys won't watch that until later.
It's Lloyd, and he's feeling feelings for. I think it's the first time for people seeing
Yeah, I
Lloyd
prefer
in
the
that
ninja when
place.
they are
So it was
grown
like
up.
They had to
Yeah.
kind of make sure they got it right, so people would kind of buy in. So
I did go for dinner one time.
Dinner?
We went for dinner, and like our voice director came as well, and we discussed sort of the arc of Harumi and
Harumi concept art.
Innocent to evil, and how that was going to play out, and
What?
it was like a whole big
Someone
thing,
screenshot that.
planning that, and it felt like a lot of pressure. Actually, I was so nervous about portraying that and having that come across. So I'm glad it worked out. I guess that season sort of showed Lloyd maturing, and so there were a lot of components, I think, that sort of propelled the show to a different level, and
what's up?
So I'm really glad that I got to be part of that season.
it's more about making
Look at
sure.
this
I was just really
concept
looking
art,
to
bro.
make sure that the Hagman brothers, because
Harumi's
they've been writing
concept
so
art,
much
dude,
and
it's
knew
so
the characters
good.
so well, and Tommy everybody was, but I was getting, I went in there and I was getting thumbs up.
I need to cut
that's
my
what you do.
nails.
You just look around and people giving you thumbs up. You're going, okay, I'm kind of on board, And even with Britt McKillop, who played Harumi, I knew her from, well, she grew up. I mean, when I knew her, I was doing a show called Baby Looney Tunes. And she was playing this character. She was just a little kid, and then she was we had this kind of romantic, pseudo romantic relationship, but she's all grown up now, and it was just funny.
What?
I mean, I truly think that playing Harumi and being part of that show has I think opened a lot of doors for me in my career. Given me a lot of other opportunities.
This is
Obviously,
Harumi's
never
voice
be
actor.
sure of that, but I think it has. Some of the other shows that I've been able to work on after
Tucker, you
Ninjago,
might get this,
I
but
think
do you agree?
might have
Season
been a
8
product of
to
that-
10
of
equals
that
X,
show,
Y, and Z.
being part of that
Harumi,
show.
Sabrina. Season 11, Sun and
you
Moon.
network and they get to know you, and that's how you get auditions sometimes, is they think, oh yeah, she was on that
I guess
show,
I
and her
could
voice would
I
be
could
really
see that.
good for this, and so yeah, I don't
So
doubt it for a
what's
second that it
season 12, 13, 14, and 15?
given me some of those opportunities. It was one of the best times.
I
I've
swear I
had.
hate
So
these
much
romantic
fun
scenes.
to
They feel
record with
gross.
those
Once I
people,
was watching a
but,
movie and I hit
storyline,
my
and
head
just the
behind.
range
Oh,
of
hit
the
my head.
character
Oh
was
wait! Concept art.
Such a fun time, getting to go from innocent Harumi to evil
She
Harumi.
went from red
and,
to green.
That's you don't get to do that very often.
Anyways.
I think, or at least
Oh, the dude, that's Lloyd's voice
in
actor.
acting, so that's
Behind a
always
pillow,
treat.
and my friends are
and
like,
just the
bruh, what's
people
wrong?
Made it
That's
just
disgusting.
a cherry on top, working with those
Are you
people.
ready to see some romantic
So it was
scene
all
right now?
around
Ready?
an
Watch
incredible
this.
experience, and I loved playing Harumi.
You see this pillow
I
right
don't
here?
think it's just a show
Zane's
for
face is on this pillow. Ready?
8-year-olds or
Ready?
12-year-olds, or there's something in
Romantic,
there
so
for
romantic.
everyone. There's lots of comedy. There's lots of
Season 13 is
heartfelt
overrated?
moments. There's lots of action. It's
Yes,
not really
maybe.
just one thing. It's a very multi-dimensional
Bread, potatoes,
show,
and blah.
in every way. So
Hope
it
you're enjoying
appeals
it.
to
Oh,
just
Oh, hello.
It appeals to the masses.
Marvelous Jan, what?
There's something there for everyone, and I think that's the reason that
you
it
did not
has
see me kiss a
stayed
pillow
on
just
the
now,
air
okay?
as long as it has, and obviously
Welcome.
it's worked
What
because
the heck?
look
I've
at the
never
fan
had
base,
someone so
and
prominent in the
fans
community.